Hey everybody, good Thursday morning, top of the morning to you. Eddie William Sellers, sitting here on my sofa this morning. Sitting here, looking out this window right here, and you can just see the moon, almost a full moon, just staring right down on me. Ava's getting ready to head out for her day, looking all pretty and sexy. She's about to turn 40 years old in a few days. For some of you people out there on TikTok and Instagram and Substack that followed this post, this is my Facebook post right here, and I typically just read it. There's the pictures I put on me about showing my nakedness. But anyhow, let's read the morning post. In my 20s, I must have loved showing off my nakedness because in a lot of the pictures my shirt is off and I have on these short pants. I never saw either grandmother with lipstick on or any kind of makeup or in a pair of pants. They abided by the rule of holiness. But it didn't stop me from walking around without a shirt on and wearing short pants. And I wore my hair long too, although back then I had to get my hair cut to get a job. My mama didn't wear makeup either, at least back in her younger years, until she was later. She started putting little stuff on her face or whatever. I don't think it was just religious with her most of those years. I think it cost a lot of money, y'all, to put on makeup. When I was in New York with Ava back about a couple months ago to do a thing in a documentary, I'd had eye surgery and still had a little bruising, so we went to Sephora and had the girl to blend in some eye makeup and stuff. It was like $70-$80 for a little bit of makeup. Good Lord. Mama did dye her hair in her later years. Mama always tried to look young. You know, she was one of them people always wanted to look younger than she was, always wanted to look thinner than she was. She was a big old flirt. Like me, I'm a flirt, y'all. And it gets you in trouble sometimes, won't you? You have to be careful who you flirt with because some folks take it serious. They're like, how you been? You're like, no, I didn't mean all that. I just wanted to flirt. And Mama liked the men folks. I feel like this is kind of the weird time of year. So much is going on, yet winding down. Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Eve are all loaded and coming right at us. I always put on a little extra weight this every year around this time, the holidays. I think it's just all of the cooking and the festivities and the Christmas parties and holidays mixed in with depression and excitement. And don't think it's odd or you're unusual if you do get a little sad or anxious or depressed during these holiday time of years. It's actually kind of normal, y'all. It's just a lot swirling around, isn't it? So don't beat yourself up over that too bad. Just give yourself permission to flow with it, you know? And in 2025, is the birth of Christ even a thing anymore? Or has all of that been so tarnished and made such a mockery of with white Christian nationalists and evangelicals and all that, that it's just lost its sheen? You know, is it all just a joke at this point? The whole thing about love your neighbor and be kind to each other, is it all just a joke? You know, it certainly feels like it sometimes, don't it? The news of the 24-year-old Dallas cowboy that took his life, man, that was so sad to hear when I heard that story. That is such a dark place for a young man to walk through. It's just sad to hear stories like that, isn't it? I've reverted back. Did that whistle? I've reverted back at this age of not taking my shirt off in public, not even while out working in the yard and doing gardening. I think I have returned to holiness, or it's more about my pudgy belly and my sagging chest. At this point in life, men folk, they just look better keeping their shirts on. Ava turns 40. The reason I was laughing. I'm like, yeah, all the nudist campgrounds, whatever. That's all you got is a bunch of 70-year-old men running around naked. Um, uh, but Ava turns 40 in a few days. She is having a birthday bash of some sort at the Plaza Theater over on Ponce de Leon here in Atlanta, Tuesday evening. Everyone is welcome and invited. No gifts. If you're around, you could just stop it by, stick your head in the door, come. They're going to do some little short films or whatever, just a little evening. She's invited anybody that wants to come by just to celebrate her 40th birthday. I remember Sammy's 40th bash. It was a big deal for Sammy. And for John's 40th. Sammy and I flew down to Puerto Rico with John and partied like it was 1979. That old saying, what happens in San Jose stays in San Jose. We had fun. Turning 40 is a big deal. Half of your life is over. You are heading into middle age. And let me just tell y'all a little something about middle age. It doesn't last long, y'all. It just goes right by you. I offered to get a room downtown for Tuesday night, but she said no. She said she would rather wake up in our bed and enjoy coffee around the house and maybe head out to lunch somewhere. Good Thursday morning, everybody, sweet people. I still take my shirt off at the beach, but other than that, I've reverted back to holiness and try to keep the shirt on. Holiness, or maybe I no longer have that sexy, cute, manly body that I used to like to flaunt. Granny and them always did say God ain't pleased with people showing their nakedness anyway. Love y'all. Come over and follow me, join me on Facebook. See y'all. Love y'all.